Maybe I don't really wanna know how your garden grows, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the same in the pouring rain as it soaks you to the bone? Baby, I just wanna fly, wanna live, I don't wanna die. Baby, I just wanna breathe. Baby, I just don't believe. Baby, you're the same as me. We see things we'll never see. You and I were gonna live forever. Gonna live forever. Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Jammin' Music Man, and welcome to my all-new album review video. And today it's going to be for one of my all-time favorite classic albums from the 90s. Classic albums of all time. If you were to give me a what's your favorite album list, you would definitely see this on there. And it's the debut album of Oasis. It's definitely Maybe. So today we're just going to talk about the album, whether or not I recommend you picking it up or not, the track listings, brief bio of the band, and let's just get things started. Oasis, they were one of the leading Britpop bands of the 90s, along with Blur, Pulp, Supergrass, a lot of great 90s Britpop bands. And a lot of people, now consider Coldplay, the definition of Britpop, which that might be true, but Britpop really got its start in the 90s with bands like Oasis and Blur. And just to give you a little brief how the band got started, it was started by brothers Noel and Liam Gallagher. Noel was a roadie for alternative indie band back in the late 80s called the Inspiral Carpets. And when Noel got through being a roadie, he came back home to find out his little brother had a band going on called The Rain, and The Rain later became Oasis. And I think, The Rain, Oasis really got it started in like 91, 92, and by 93 they played a gig over there in Europe called King Tut's Wah-Wah Hut. I have no idea where that's at over there. Maybe some of you guys do. But that's where they played. That's where they got noticed and eventually signed to a record label called Creation Records, which led to the recording of their debut album. And I watched countless documentaries on Oasis, and they had quite a few studio technicians to mix this album. I'm talking like who knows how many times this album was mixed, but it's perfect from track 1 to track 11. Each song is a classic. I mean, when I have my iPod on, it's definitely one of the albums I always go to. And there's always this war between which album was better with Oasis. What's the Story, Morning Glory, or definitely Maybe. And if you ask people here in the States, of course they're going to know Wonderwall, Champagne, Supernova, and all the songs that came off of Morning Glory. But people over here really don't talk about their debut album. But I'm a big fan. But I mean, of course, when Wonderwall was out, I was real young at the time, and I was a real fan, but it wasn't until I was older and eventually got to their debut album. And in my opinion, the debut album is the best. What's the Story, Morning Glory, of course I love it, but for some reason I always go back to this one. But let's just talk a little bit about the track listings. Track 1 is Rock and Roll Star. Great opener. Love the opening to this song. And it's just a great rock 90s hit song that, got them a whole lot of airplay back in the 90s. Rock and Roll Star, one of their trademark songs. Number 2, Shaker Maker. I love this song. I play this song on the guitar, and I've played this song in countless places that I've played. People love it, but when you mention them to them, Oasis played it, and they're like, "Oh, really?" And I've actually done a little bit of research on Shaker Maker. For some reason or somehow, they got the chorus to an old Coca-Cola song from like the 60s or 70s, and they used those chords for Shaker Maker, which is, I don't know, it's crazy, but it's another classic. The intro part, or the main riff for Shaker Maker, is just, it's got that jangly guitar sound. It's just awesome. Classic. Number 3, one of my personal favorites, and the song that I just played at the beginning of this video, Live Forever. Love this song. Love that music video. In the music video, they got the poster of Kurt Cobain, because at the time this album came out in like August of '94. Cobain was dead by spring of '94. So this was kind of a tribute to Kurt Cobain, even though they didn't even know each other. But it was awesome to see that poster in the Live Forever video. Number 4, Up in the Sky, another great upbeat rock psychedelic track. Number 5, Columbia, great psychedelic rock feel. Number 6, their debut single, Supersonic, another one of my favorites from Oasis, and I love that little intro lick that's in the song for Supersonic. And number 7, Bring It On Down, another great rock track. Number 8, another one of my personal favorites, and I've heard from many people that this song right here is the song of the 90s for over in England, and that's Cigarettes and Alcohol. I love that song. I play it on guitar. I've played it in places before, and people love it. Number 9, Digsy's Diner. It's okay. It's not one of my favorite tracks on this album. And number 10 is Slide Away, another classic. Love that song. And number 11 is it's an acoustic song, which is just Noel and Liam on vocals, Married with Children. So 11 tracks, the debut album of Oasis. It's definitely a must buy, a definitely must have in your collection. Whether or not you're a 90s rock fan, whether or not you don't like 90s Britpop, any of that stuff. This is just one of the great albums of the 90s that really just, stands on its own. But the time of Cobain's death in early '94, and people were looking for different type rock stars. The whole grunge scene was starting to fade out. Pearl Jam quit making videos, and Oasis, Blur, Radiohead, those guys really stepped up to the plate for rock music in the 90s, and took rock music well on into the new millennium. But definitely, maybe it's a definite classic. I hope you guys leave comments, share your memories on this album, and like this video. I hope you guys will send me a friend request on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, please subscribe, and if you got any albums you want to request, get in touch with me. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.